Hello everyone, this is Kevin and I'm here to share with you a bit of tech I've been lucky enough to get my hands on. So, a few months ago I went to the Consumer Electronics Show with my friends from Epic Adventures. And while there, my brother interviewed the group UC Logic about their new tablet, the Artisul D13. And while he did the interview, I played around with the Artisul and did some rough sketch work to give it a quick run through and see how it played. And while I didn't have a lot of time with it, I liked what I saw. It was responsive to my pen strokes, it was comfortable to use, the pen felt good in my hands. I liked it, but I really wanted more time with it so I could really put it through its paces. Well, a few weeks after CES, UC Logic was nice enough to send me an Artisul D13 to test out myself. And now, a few weeks after that, having given it a run through, I would like to share with you my review of it. The Artisul D13 is a drawing tablet whose primary competition is going to be the much well-known Wacom Cintiq 13 HD. Now, personally, I've never owned a 13 HD, so I can't give you a direct comparison of the Artisul to the Cintiq in this regard. I can only judge the Artisul as it has worked for me by its own merits, and what I can tell you is that the Artisul is fantastic. There's been no parallax that I've been able to tell, no lag in any of my programs, and while some programs did give me a little more grief than others, there isn't a program I've used on it yet that it hasn't worked in. But before we really get into the programs, let's talk tech specs. The Artisul D13 has a 13.3-inch screen size with a 16:9 aspect ratio, 1080p pixel resolution. It uses HDMI inputs and has two particular methods of power, either USB ports if you don't have to worry about battery life, or if you are concerned with battery life, it also comes with a power adapter so you don't have to worry about draining your laptop battery using it. It has 2048 levels of pressure sensitivity, 6 hotkeys, and a scroll wheel that actually also doubles as a 7th hotkey. Included with the tablet are a pen, the pen case, which inside includes 9 extra replacement nibs, and a nib remover, which is very nice, a pen stand, which is also nice, the connectors, HDMI and USBs, the power adapter, and a quick start guide. The pen surprised me because it's actually a lot lighter than I'm used to. I've used mostly N-Trig pens in my life, and all of those required an internal quadruple A battery, which gave them a bit more weight. The Artisul does not require a battery and is therefore much lighter in the hand. The Artisul screen is also very lovely. The colors on it are actually more bright and vibrant than the colors on my desktop monitor. Also, it has a slight hint of texture to it. Not the type of texture that I feel running my fingers over it, but the type of tension that I feel when I actually press the pen to it. It feels closer to paper than I'm used to. My old Sony Vaio N-Trig laptop actually was smooth glass, and drawing on smooth glass is not pleasant. It took a long time to adjust to doing that. The Artisul isn't the same as actual paper, but it's much closer and it has a better feel, making it very easy to just pick it up and draw on it. I've done dozens upon dozens of just rough sketches in Sketchbook with this because it's just so easy to pick up and use. Okay, now that the tech specs are out of the way, I want to discuss programs, specifically the program I always use. Now, before I start on that, I did test this on Sketchbook, Photoshop, Manga Studio, TV Paint, and Adobe Animate, and all of them worked beautifully. No complaints, no issues, I turned the programs on, and the Artisul ran beautifully. However, what I want to discuss specifically today is my main go-to program, Toon Boom Animate Pro 2. And the reason I want to focus on that is because I never really hear anyone talk about Toon Boom in these tech demos whenever it's talking about a Cintiq alternative. When I first loaded up Toon Boom with the Artisul, I noticed one very clear problem whenever I tried to set everything to a dual monitor setup. It would create this really bizarre calibration issue. I would make marks in the top left, but the line would appear in the bottom right. And I couldn't calibrate because it wouldn't register anything after a certain distance on the right side of my screen. This was a significant problem until I went onto the Artisul forums and just asked their help. A day later, they sent me a response, and I was able to fix the problem within 30 seconds. Just had to adjust the size of my text and icons. Once that was solved, dual monitor Toon Boom has worked without a hitch ever since. Extended monitor was a slightly different problem. Whenever I tried to set up the system as an extended monitor, meaning that the Artisul was just an extension of my main monitor, Toon Boom wouldn't register my pen strokes. At all. No matter what I did, it wouldn't register a single stroke I made. However, this problem was solved by rebooting the entire computer. And another thing about it, this problem wasn't exclusive to the Artisul. On my own Sony Vaio tablet, I had the exact same problem, and that used N-Trig drivers, not UC Logic. Which leads me to believe this was an issue with Toon Boom and not with the Artisul. On dual monitors, which I prefer to use anyway, the Artisul works beautifully. As you can see from all this footage, everything I've shown you today has been made using the Artisul. Drawing with the Artisul has been quite lovely in Toon Boom. While I know there are some people who prefer their pen to have a bit more weight to it, the lighter feel of the Artisul pen is much closer to holding a standard HB pencil, and I'm a pencil and paper person at my core, so this made drawing with it a much smoother experience than drawing with the heavier N-trig pencil that had an internal battery. That ease of use combined with the easily programmable hotkeys sped up my workflow immensely. The Artisul is just a fantastic product. So what we have here is an easy to use, easy to install, very solid piece of equipment with good customer service, good response times, and good compatibility with numerous programs. And the icing on that cake is that the Artisul runs at $600, whereas the primary competitor, the Cintiq 13 HD, starts at either $800 for the standard or $999 for the touch version. And while I'm sure there are some who would prefer Cintiq products, that discount is not nothing, and the Artisul's quality more than makes it a valid competitor. So, me personally, I intend to stick with the Artisul. Until the day comes where the Artisul makes itself a nice 22-inch model, the Artisul D13 is my tablet of choice.